Namaste. Namostasye. I'll wait for everyone to gather. Good morning. We will give ourselves a few moments to collect, a few minutes to collect, and then we will begin our time of centering. Good morning, Judith. As always, as you arrive into your space, wherever you're choosing to set up your device, wherever you're choosing to set up your body, just really give yourself some time to settle in, to find a seat that suits you today. And it's very important that we pay attention to that, right? Because today we're different. Today we're different from who we were yesterday, right? The mood, the atmosphere, the temperature, right? It's all different, right? So it's very important that we take some time to figure out what kind of a seat, what kind of a support within the seat is going to serve us best. Good morning to both the Judiths. About another minute, maybe 2 more minutes before we begin. You know, some days we need more proppage underneath us. Some days, you know, we need more help seated upright. Maybe we need to lean into a wall. Maybe today we lie down. Maybe today we sit in a bench or a stool or a firm chair. So giving yourself these few minutes as we kind of pull ourselves together, right, as we gather, to figure out today what kind of a seat is going to serve you best. And that's going to be you asking yourself the question, how do I feel right now? What do I need right now? Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Meredith. So we're addressing the moment when we figure out what kind of a seat we need right now. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Spat. Let us tune in. You know, sometimes I think of this hand rubbing that I do as, you know, a way to kind of take all the stuff that's going on in the mind and kind of pull it into what is known as the third eye, the center point. And breathe in. Let's take a few moments to give thanks, finding the gratitude, locating a sense of appreciation, or maybe even just a moment of contentment. Santosha, the Sanskrit word for contentment, to find it, right? To locate it inside. It's a nice way to begin your seat from a place of gratitude, contentment, or appreciation. Namaste. So I posted on the Facebook wall thing today, the world wants to regenerate. It's a pretty powerful statement. And it's got me thinking a lot about the re words, the R-E words. I talk about them a lot when we're here at Shakti in a mat practice. That there are so many wonderful re words like regenerate, or regrow, rebirth, reboot, reset, right? Recover. Like all of these wonderful words that can be so incredibly helpful during a time of dismay, during a time where we might feel very stuck. It's very, very important to keep feeding the brain, keep feeding the spirit, the soul, in such a way that we remind ourselves, right, that there is a regrowth occurring very naturally within each and every one of us. Because we can get very, the mind and the spirit can get very sedentary and can get very stuck on the D's, right? The degeneration, if you will, and, the destructions and all of the falling away and the falling apart that's occurring right now can plague spirit, can plague body, can plague mind, right? So we have to be extra diligent, right? We are warriors of our well-being. We are warriors of our well-being. So we have to really pay attention to the fact that regeneration is a very natural occurrence, right? It happens within the bones, it happens within the nerves, it happens within the systems, within the organs. And we either forget this or maybe we don't even know this, right? That everything inside of us is always in a state of regeneration. In these re-words, the ability to tap into a rebooting of one's system, a resetting of one's mindset, right? Even a restructuring can never be bad for us, right? And I think sometimes we live, and when I say these, these offerings of, I think sometimes it's because, I spend a lot of time doing intimate one-on-one sessions with people, and I'm graced with a lot of very private conversations that occur, but there's always a similarity, right? There's a similarity in our mindset as humans, right? And part of the tendency, the human tendency that we all fall into is that it's as if our life is like a course we're taking in school that we're all failing, right? Like, I know we all been there. I know that this is just not me, right? That it's as if, we're kind of like on this test of life, if you will, that this course that we're all kind of failing. And I think it's really, really important for us to remember that there are redos, that we are never done. We are never done growing. We are never done learning, right? But the only way the redo is going to be granted for us is if we're willing to let go of what has been done. If we're willing to allow destruction to be part of the recipe on our path, the system on our path, right? that there is a natural cycle in life, that destruction creates rebirth again and again and again, not just once, not just one straight line. And we either pass or fail the course, the class of life, right? No. That our life is secular, and it's constantly turning and churning, and we get many, many, many redos, right? And the redos create the rebirth, right? The regenerating, the regrowth. But it will only occur if we're willing to A, accept that destruction occurs, that suffering occurs, that struggling occurs, that failure occurs, that mistakes are made, right? Because this is us as humans, and then this is what's occurring globally in the current crisis. It's both. Like, how do we insert ourselves into our daily life? How do we insert ourselves into this daily life that involves crisis? So that willingness to accept that destruction occurs, that degeneration occurs, right, is the very thing that frees, that breeds us into the next phase of recovery, the next phase of rebirth, the next phase of rebuild, right? So we must train the brain to get those R words in, those re words in, the recovery, the rebuild, the regrowth, the rebirth. But they will only occur if we let go of what has been done. And then we get many redos, we get many do-overs, right? We just keep going. Rather than feeling like that we're cemented in to the existence that has been written for us thus far, and we will just be plagued with it until the day we die, right? That's nonsense. That's what the mind tells us, right? So we have to, retrain the mind, right? Retrain the mind to receive, right? Okay. So as I was saying earlier, give yourself time that, really choose a seat with consciousness, with awareness that suits your needs today, that suits your temperament, that suits how your body feels, where your nervous system is at, etc. Right? We're always checking in, we're always paying attention so that we can address our well-being, so that we can take care of ourselves, right? Because it's only going to be us at the end of the day, right? We have to keep checking in. So as you find your seat that suits you today, open up your waist. And drop into your lower hip, and your toe, and your thighs. And soften through the back of your neck and the center of the throat. And let your eyelids just fall closed. Try not to force them closed. See if they might close very willingly, very passively, very gently. Once again, this is just to facilitate a deeper inward connection, a sense of intimacy. Nothing needs to be shut out, nothing needs to be blocked out. And then just begin to locate your breath. And acknowledge that as you breathe, blood is moving, oxygen is flowing, right? These contributors to a regeneration, to a regrowth, and with great possibility to a rebirth, a rebuild. Just by you paying attention to your breath, this life force inside you that's moving oxygen, flowing blood through your whole being. Let's see if we can bring the inner eye in just a little bit more deeply. turning the gaze inside. Letting the breath come up to meet that inner gaze. Soften in such a way that the breath gets a little easier, gets a little flowier, and gets a little sweeter. And as you locate the sweetness of your breath, and come to notice its power. It regenerates, it regrows cells. And we're training the brain to see that so that it can cue the mind into this ongoing journey. So it can cue the mind into this redo, right? That we're never done, right? We are never done. And we're never as stuck as we might feel we are. Let the breath just keep going because it is, right? And we're just bringing the mind into it, into the continuum of it. And each breath you take whispers this redo. See if you can slow the breath a little bit more. As it slows, see if your eye can catch it a little more greatly. It's easier to catch things moving slow. Once again, allowing this breath to speak, to whisper the language of regeneration to you. That we get a do-over again and again and again and again. So many chances to regrow, so many chances for rebirth. Incorporating our lung strengthening daily exercise together. Open that waist again. And heavy the hips again. And soften through the neck again. Empty the breath from the underbelly. And breathe in. Retain. Breathe out. Retain. Breathe in. Retain. Breathe out. Retain. Breathe in. Retain. Breathe out. Retain. Breathe in. Retain. retain. Release the lock of the underbelly, letting your breath go, letting your breath flow. Allowing your breath to just whisper this language of regenerating, of recovering, of restoring, of rebirthing. Allowing this breath to fuel the muscles of letting go, right? To support the muscles of letting go. That we can't keep holding on to what was and our failures and the dismay of this experience, right? We must move forward. And how we move forward is to just breathe as we breathe. This natural regeneration experience, this process that is occurring naturally, it's just training the brain to go to the natural occurrence. Open the eyes and flow the palms straight up. And then just gently press and take them down. Riding this wave of the breath, inhale the palms up. And exhale, carry them down. A couple more times. Really feeling your breath as it moves in this body that is yours. Each breath teaches us, or re-teaches us in this process of continuation, right? There's no test. If we fall, we get up. If we fail, we start again. If we get hurt, we recover. Inhale them up. And exhale, bring them to the center of your heart. A moment for gratitude, for appreciation, for contentment. It's important that we sit ourselves right in it, that we are aware of it while it's occurring. This practice of being centered, this practice of being present. And breathe in. May we retry, may we redo, may we recover, may we regrow, right? All of those mays are coming from the fact that they already exist naturally, right? And it's just paying attention to that natural ability within each and every one of us. Namaste. Namaste. If you feel like saying hello, jot us a line, right? This certainly isn't for me or about me. This is, us. This is us, right? This is who we are and what we're experiencing together as a collective right now. So please feel free to share and or not. I'll be heading over to do some physical practice if anybody cares to join. If anybody does not have income, please do not let that stop you. Come in as my guest. Thank you for all the hearts. Let's close it up. And always, we send it out in this regeneration process, right? This very secular-like experience that we're going through called life, right? Remember, it's not a course, right? It's not a class that we're passing or failing, boxing us in. We just, we keep going. We just keep retrying, redoing. So as we do that, we generate new juice, right? New awareness, new energy, and we send that out. We help others. We do it freely. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live with an easy heart. Namaste.